Morning, everyone. Yeah, it's good to have everybody here. Yeah, thanks for those that are joining us in this Tuesday morning. Weather here in Brisbane looks really nice. Uh, Unfortunately, very conducive to bushfire. That's what we are going to talk about today. And I already recorded a couple of videos about workplace health and safety here in Australia, which is a very important topic for engineers, especially for overseas engineers. The legislation in workplace health and safety here in Australia is very strict, and in some of our mother countries, it may not be that strict. So it's always important that we raise awareness of the importance of following health and safety legislation. And nowadays, with this drought period in August here, at least in Brisbane, we didn't really have a lot of rain. We probably had probably 1 or 2 days of rain last month in August, and September looks like it's going to be dry as well. Here in Brisbane today, we currently have some bushfire happening, and I thought, well, that would be interesting for us to talk about bushfire safety. What do we need to do to prevent it? What do we do if we find ourselves in the middle of a bushfire? So today I'll be quickly talking about this topic. Toolbox talk about bushfire safety, and then I'll be opening for some questions. If you have some questions, please type in your comments. I'm trying to do a live in Instagram as well, so hopefully we'll get some questions. And if you have suggestions of days or even the time, if you think that Tuesday is not a good day, or if you think that 7 a.m. is too early, please let me know. Just remember, I work full time, so I do this either before I go to work or after I come back. So, all right, so let's get the ball rolling. So in event of a bushfire, so what do we do? Well, it's that time of the year, when we have a hazy sky and the distant smell of smoke or news reports from around Australia remind us that a bushfire season is here again. Yeah, tragically, because of bushfires, property and maybe lives will be threatened or lost. You don't have to work or live in the bush to be threatened by bushfire. Just close enough to be affected by burning material, embers and smoke. And for Queensland here, that can be just about anywhere. So for those of us residing, commuting, or working in or near bushland, it's important to be alert to the dangers of bushfire and know what to do to protect ourselves, our families, and colleagues. So some hints about bushfire preparation at work. So being prepared for the possibility of a bushfire increases the chance of survival for people and property. Having an emergency management plan, EMP, is an essential part of being prepared for various emergencies and must be prepared for all workplaces, including offices, depots, and project sites. The emergency management plan must detail general information such as evacuation points and assembly points, evacuation procedures, roles and responsibilities, and training requirements for workers. If a risk assessment shows that a bushfire risk is likely, preparing a procedure as part of the emergency management plan for what to do during a bushfire and training workers in the procedure will ensure that the fire emergency is handled as effectively as possible. If your work unit needs help in developing a plan, you can always contact safety people in your company or organization for guidance. During the bushfire danger season, it is important to ensure work you undertake is not at risk of sparking a grass fire. Some construction and maintenance activities can accidentally generate a fire, particularly when the work is taking place in dry, grassy, and windy conditions. Activities that can cause a grass fire, including welding, grinding, cutting, paint removal, working near power lines, and the heat generating from hot engines operating dry grass. It is important that potential for a grass fire is considered before an activity is undertaken, and that work teams have the necessary firefighting equipment on hand. Workers should only attempt to extinguish a bushfire, if they have been trained in the correct use of firefighting equipment and feel safe to do so. And always call here in Australia 000 000 if a fire is unable to be contained. So some hints for bushfire preparation at home. During a bushfire, you and your family's safety depend on your preparation and the decisions you make. Whether your plan is to leave early or stay, you must take all necessary precautions to prepare your property to keep your family as safe as possible. However, remember, lives are more important than any building. Here are some useful steps to prepare your home, regardless of whether your bushfire plan is to stay or to go. Clear space around buildings by removing undergrowth and raking up leaf and branch litter. Clear out roofs and gutters of leaf litter. Fill any gaps in the eaves and around windows and door frames. Protect larger underdeck areas with non-flammable screens. Remove any fire hazards from around the house, such as firewood or loose timber. Ensure your home contents and car insurance policies are up to date. Make sure you have appropriate water and firefighting equipment on hand and that your property has cleared access for fire trucks. Ensure your family has a bushfire survival plan in place, and whether your intention is to stay or evacuate, make sure you understand exactly what to do in the event of an approaching bushfire. Did you know, if a fire is rated extreme or catastrophic, leaving your property early is your only option. In Queensland here, you can be ordered by the police or fire service to evacuate if they believe it is necessary for your safety. Driving in and around bushfires. Perhaps you are caught by bushfire when you're driving around. If you regularly drive through or past wooded areas on hot and windy days, whether as part of your job or general commuting, there are a number of things you can do to keep safe. Check the fire danger rating via Bureau of Meteorology, BOM. Check for television or radio warning broadcasts before leaving for your destination. Read the signs. Country towns and national parks often have fire danger indicators at all entry points. Have a good map of the area you're traveling in. Keep your radio on to hear any important weather or bushfire warnings. Keep your mobile phone charged, if possible, and keep an eye on mobile phone coverage. Have an alternative form of communication if going into a known black spot, a CB radio, satellite phone, etc. If driving during working hours, inform your manager or supervisor where you are going and keep them informed if your plan changes. Keep and discuss a check-in procedure. Otherwise, inform a family member or friend where you're going and keep them informed if your plans change. Make sure you have plenty of water, a woolen blanket, and a first aid kit in your car. Follow instructions given by emergency services, police, fire brigade, rural fire service. And most of all, if you're not sure, don't take a risk. And what to do if you're caught in a bushfire while driving. Driving during a bushfire is a last resort. If you find yourself in this situation, always, if it is safe to do so, turn back and drive from where you came from. Notify the fire brigade if time permits. If you can't escape the path of the fire, follow the advice below. Park in the clearest area you can find. Wind up all windows, cover yourself with blankets, floor mats, jackets, etc. And tuck yourself on the floor of the car or under the dashboard. If surrounded by fire, park the car in the barest area possible, away from tall grass and shrubs. If possible, park the vehicle with the rear facing the oncoming fire. Close all windows and vents tightly. Only exit from the vehicle when you are sure that you are upwind of the blaze and out of danger. Only move out of the area once all smoke has cleared. And for other survival information about bushfire safety, fire danger ratings, or how to prepare a bushfire survival plan, visit www.ruralfire.kod.gov.au/pages/home. And pay attention and get your bushfire survival plan in place. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed some information about bushfire safety. And if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please type in the comments so I can kind of cover other subjects during these Facebook Lives. Again, I'm making these Facebook Lives every Tuesday at 7 a.m. every week. And if you think that another day or another time would be more appropriate, please leave in the comments and I'll make my efforts to cover in a day that suits more people. Thank you very much and bye-bye.